Today I'm going to be introducing the concept of control structs, or control structures. And these are this is the syntax that's going to allow us to control what the program does, and basically allow us to complete many tasks sequentially, which is what we need to do when we're doing programming in general and in physics simulations. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a new file. I'm going to call it constrol.f90. Go ahead and make a new program called construct. Construct, okay. Implicit none. And we're going to need two variables for this example. So we'll go ahead and get an integer, which we'll call I, and we will make a real value, which we'll call x, and I'm going to go ahead and set it equal to 2.0. Okay. So the first control structure that I'm going to introduce is the do structure, or the do loop, and this is going to allow us to complete several tasks sequentially. So here's the syntax for it. Okay, so and then I need to end the do loop. So basically what's going to happen is we have, we're going to set I equal to 1, and then it's going to index it up to 10. What I mean by index is just going to increase, going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to print out that variable. So each time we go through the loop, it's going to change the value of I sequentially from 1 to 10. So let's go ahead and see that. So I'll go ahead and compile the code. And execute it. Okay, and there we go. We get those values. Now, we have some various options on how we want to do this indexing. So we can do every other value if we want by giving a third, kind of think of it as a third argument, third number here. There you go, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So we get odd values. Let's see what else. Oh, okay. And so in this case, we're just sequentially going through, 1 to 10. But we can also do a do while loop, where we're going to give it some sort of conditional value, some true or false statement, that it will continue going through the loop. It'll continue going through the loop until the statement becomes false. So we need to at least start it being false. So we'll do while x is, let's say, less than 10.0. And instead of, I'm just going to print x. Now, let's see what happens. And, okay, we just get an infinite loop. So the computer's just going to keep running, keep printing. That's because we never actually do anything to make that statement false in the do while loop, which means it's just going to keep running. And that's called an infinite loop. I was able to break it just by hitting Control C, which told the computer to quit out of the program. So let's go back into the code, and we're still going to print x. But then after we print x, we're going to go ahead and update the value of x. So we're going to set x equal to x plus 2. So now each loop will, at the end of each loop, it'll update 2 until we get to 8. It'll then update it to 10, but then because 10 is equal to 10, we go look at the thing, it'll keep updating it until 10 is equal to 10, which this makes this a false statement because this is a less than, not a less than or equal to. Okay. An alternative way to do this Boolean is this is the old way of doing it, less than. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of some basic that's going to allow us to go through a sequence and execute code over and over again until we either exhaust the list that we're going through or we reach some state that satisfies this. Okay. So now I'm going to introduce a second construct type, control construct, which is going to be the if then else construct. So this is going to be set up like this. So let's see here. So x is equal to 2.0 in this case. And we're going to say if, put in parentheses here, if x is less than 1.0, then we're going to do something, okay? So in this case, I'll go ahead and just make a print statement. Okay. Then, well, I'll just go ahead and end the statement right here, okay? So it's going to go through. We're going to set it equal to 2.0. It's going to ask if x is less than 1.0, then it's going to do something. In this case, it's going to be false, so we shouldn't see anything happen. And that's exactly what we expect. Okay. So then to kind of, we can go ahead and articulate this if statement further. So we can say else if x is greater than 1. We'll say greater than 2. You'll see why in a second. Then we'll go ahead and do a different statement now. Okay. Again, we'll just say x is greater than 2. Okay. Then finally, we can give it an else statement. So this will just execute if none of the other ones, if none of these are true, basically. And we'll just say, okay. So basically, we give it, and we can have multiple of these else ifs, right? But this is going to basically make these evaluations on a variable. And then guide the program to execute the code, that is underneath it. So let's go ahead and just compile and run it. Okay, and none were true. And that's exactly what we expect because 2.0 is not less than 1. It's not greater than 2.0. It's equal to 2.0. And then so these both evaluate to false. So then it goes to the else here. Okay. So we've covered two control structures. There's some other ones which I'm not going to cover today. We'll cover them when we need them. Though that is the case structure and the go-to structure. But we'll introduce those a little bit later. In the next video, I want to go ahead and start doing some physics. And yeah, okay. Thank you very much. For this video, I used Modern Fortran Explained by Michael Metcalf, John Reed, and Malcolm Cohen as the kind of the primary reference. I also used a website by Oracle, which I'll add in the show notes, which has some has an explanation of the do while loop.